Forza Italia. The Azzurri had a magnificent tournament in last year's Six Nations, but the rest of the calendar year, the performances just dipped a little bit at times. Hello, amateurs, and welcome back to our Six Nations series. I'm going to be here with you throughout the series and beyond. I've got some amazing guests for you this year. I've had some on already, so go and check out those episodes. But make sure you hit subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any of those future episodes. Today, I'm going to be looking at what I think the Italy team is going to be to face Scotland at Murrayfield this coming Saturday. But for more detail on Italy, and especially everything that's got into their squad, where they are at the moment, I did a brilliant episode with Mike from the Fratelli the Rugby podcast, which I'll link just up there. Go and check that one out for some real detailed analysis on this Italian squad. Okay, but onto my selection. This is who I think will get selected for this coming Saturday in Scotland, and to nobody's surprise, it looks like it's probably going to rain. So that got into my selection a little bit as well. Okay, so in the forwards, Bichetti, an outstanding loose head, with Spagnolo suspended. He's the out-and-out first choice there. Lucchese and Nicotera both play a lot. They often swap. It's like 1A, 1B really. But Lucchese seems to have had the wood over Nicotera in the starting jersey recently. So I'm going to go with him. On the tight head, there's some good options here. Zalocchi is a great tight head, but hasn't played a lot recently. So I'm going to go with Ferrari to start, and Riccioni, who started a lot of games for Saracens this season. Into the second row, and this is where the weather is really coming into my mind now, and especially combined with what is quite a physical and big Scottish pack. I think we need Cannoni in there in the second row. Could have potentially gone with Rutzer and Lamb. They've played together before, but I think you need a bit of a lump in there, and Cannoni certainly is that. Dino Lamb, a really talented, athletic player to go alongside him. Again, selections in the back row here. I think we need this physicality for this game. I think you absolutely need that. So got Seb Negri, Lamoureux, and Cannoni at number 8. Some good players, though, that are going to come on off the bench and add a little bit of pace and dynamism to the latter stages. But like I said, I've gone for experience and I've gone for side in these opening stanzas. Okay, into the backs, and we go with Martin Pagerello at scrum half. He got into the side in last year's Six Nations, and actually they really rotated the scrum halves last year, and everybody sort of got a go. But I think Pagerello was the one that really stood out in the end and became the first choice. Paolo Garbisi, the Toulon fly half, starting fly half there. He's really outstanding player, and it's a very simple selection. Not quite as simple, though, as Menoncello and Brex in the centres, who just absolutely pick themselves. They're definitely a shout for being the best centre partnership in the world at the moment, and I just adore watching them play. Their running lines, they've got physicality as well, though, and the timing of the passes, especially when Brex takes the ball to the line and puts people out the back, is just golden. I love it. Monty Ione on the left wing, and I'm going to go with Simone Gazy on the right. Real gas there. Real gas with Kopuotsu, who scored some incredible tries for Toulouse this season at fullback. There's a real case here for going with Matt Gallagher in the back three there somewhere, particularly because of the weather and how sort of secure he is under the high ball, and his basics are so good. But I think I've gone with these real sort of gas players, these flair players, because if Italy get a chance, they need to be able to take them, and I think these guys will give them the best chance of doing that. Onto the bench, and we have Nicotera, as mentioned earlier. Rizzoli, who's fairly new in the Italian squad. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes at loosehead when he gets on, with Riccioni on the tight end side. Rutzer to come on and bring some line-out experience if needed later in the game. Then real gas from Ross Vincent, who scored a try, I think it was against Ulster a couple of weeks ago, where he skinned an entire backline, it seemed. I think it was illegal where he picked the ball up from. But ignore that. The try was incredible. He looked so fast. Giuliani as well, a real fetcher at open side to come on and really try and slow the breakdown down towards the end of the game if necessary. Alessandro Garbisi, and returning Tommy Allen. And I've gone with Tommy Allen because I think out of all the places in the Italian backline, I think 10 is the one that needs the most cover. Everybody else can switch around and move and take other shirts, but I think that's what needs the most cover. He's also got that huge amount of experience to draw on, and I just think he'll be a steadying influence for these Italians towards the end of the game, if needs be. And Mike mentioned in the podcast that we did that he's been having a really amazing season over in France. So it's great to see him back in the international fold. He dropped out of last year's Six Nations halfway through, just too much going on in his life, I think, was essentially it. So it's great that he's now got the space to come back and contribute once again to this Italian team. Okay, that's that. Now then, what do we expect from them this coming Saturday? I think going back to the rain, going back to the weather, I think I really want to see great set piece from Italy. I think they need to have that to stand a chance in a game like this at Scotland away. So scrum, line out, get those nailed, kick off receipts, get them nailed. And then with Quesada being the master tactician, which again mentioned in the podcast with Mike, it seems like all the players are almost in awe of what he's coming up with tactically. I want to see Italy play in the right places. They played a couple of years ago where they ran the ball from absolutely everywhere, and it was thrilling, and I loved it, but probably not the best way to win test matches consistently. So, especially when the weather's going to be as it is, or likely to be as it is. So, set piece, get that nailed, then play in the right areas. And then when they get their chances with those electric back three players that they've got to really go it and nail them. Brex and Menoncello can hit through the middle. They can create the space on the wider sides as well. So when they get those chances, they've got to go. I'm excited to see this version of Italy. I think they made a few errors during the autumn series. It's clear that they were just going through a bit of a transition phase in terms of tactics and how they were going about things. And there were players dropping passes and just looking like they weren't quite sure where they were supposed to be. Hopefully they've got more clarity now, and we can see that in this Six Nations because, as I've said before, they're one of my favourite teams to watch. So that is what I think. But what do you think? Is this the team that Quesada is going to pick to take on Scotland this coming Saturday? Do you think they're good enough to win in Scotland? Scotland missing a couple of key players, but are a very good and settled side. Let me know in the comments down below, and we'll join you there for a friendly conversation. Give this video a thumbs up, a big one. While you're down there, if you don't mind, it helps other people find it. And you can subscribe there. You can watch that one next. And do not forget to get out and play.